Greetings! I'm Epictetus, and this is Epic Tech, and welcome back. And I do mean welcome back to Space Engineered, because we have been gone for a couple of weeks. As most of you know, Space Engineers had a major update. They were actually left early access, and it's been kind of crazy. And we had to take some time to fix up the server and get things figured out. But we are back with Space Engineered, and I am ready to make some changes to this ship and get some stuff done. What do you say we get right to it? First of all, before we do anything else, I'm completely out of cargo space. I went to go kind of fix up my inventory before I started recording, and very quickly realized there was like nowhere to put anything. So we need to do something about that. Just realized, I think now the assemblers are full. Okay, I'm kind of thinking I just want to kind of cram them in up there. Or I could replace all of those with cargo containers. I think that makes a lot of sense. Let's do that. Even the right way up. Am I going to be able to make metal grid? No, I have no nickel. Can I disassemble? Aha, there's some nickel in these NATO magazines. Let's take those apart. Oh, that's gonna take forever. I think I might need more assemblers. Could put a couple on top of this. I could also speed this up. Oh, jeez. I could also speed this up a little bit by putting an upgrade module or two on it. Maybe if I put another assembler on top, and then I put upgrade modules on both of them. So this has been bugging me. As I've been prepping, there's smoke coming up through the bottom, and I keep thinking, oh no, things are broken. They're not. Alright, the cursor needs to go away, and it's got a whole bunch of things on it. Actually, come to think of it, does it have any motors or nickel? Nah, I pulled most of that stuff out. Okay, finally the last parts. So we got lots of storage now, that's good. Well, lots is a relative term, but you know what I mean. And we need some construction components and displays for that. That shouldn't be a problem. There we go. Now we've got two assemblers going. Let's see if we can take apart the cursor using this thing. It's been a while since I've driven it, so I really don't remember. Oops. Ah, the dampeners were off. Were my thrusters turned off too? What did I do? Lift thrust. Yeah, they were. Okay, let's unlock this again, and... Oh my word, the sideways thrust on this is practically non-existent. So, I've been thinking for the last couple of weeks what I want to change on this, and one of the things I definitely want to change is the thrust, because the sideways thrust on this is just not acceptable. And I'm thinking this is a perfect example of why one might want to use the vector thrust script. Oh, but the grinding is doing great. This thing does a fabulous job of destroying. As long as it's not destroying itself, I'll be happy. And here's where all the goodies are on the inside. Okay, let's call that good for a second. And let's go ahead and back up. We're going to unlock and rotate this. Turn off the grinders. And let's set this guy down. There we go. Locked in place. And No, no. Okay. Right. Lock the rotor. No, wait. No, hang on. Lock the rotor. There we go. Now if I turn off the inertial dampeners, that should cut down on our power usage dramatically. But I got to remember to turn them back on again. That's very important. Okay. Let's see if we can get up to the top and make ourselves a few more thrusters. Good, good. All right, let's see if this works any better. Inertial dampeners on. Unlocked. Up. And I definitely need to set up a timer block or something for all this. Because remembering to do all that is beyond me. Okay. Now let's see how squirrely it is. Can it hold? It can actually hold at a slight tilt. That's good. Because it could not a minute ago. And there it is, the last part of the cursor. Goodbye, cursor. You served us well, but it was time for you to be recycled. So I hit a couple of times a little bit hard, and I want to see if I did any damage down here. Oh. Looks like this guy either took some damage or never had all its parts. No, I'm sure I would have noticed if it didn't have all its parts. So it's a good thing I have the ability to get down there and work on stuff. The upward thrust I'm not concerned with. It's the sideways thrust. So even after adding in an extra set of sideways thrusters, if I got more than a few degrees off flat, this whole thing started to slide. So I have a crazy thought. Now, if you guys have watched many of my videos, you've seen the vector thrust script by 1WSX10. I think it's time to put that in. And I'm thinking that we can do that without changing the structure of the ship very much at all. We're going to need to extend the back a little bit. And I want to put this engine on a rotor that can turn left and right, forward and backward. Those two engines will be on rotors that can allow them to turn up, down, forward, and backward. The hardest part with this, see, those aren't going to be an issue. This one back here, I'm going to have to make sure that the thruster can't turn completely around and like burn off the back of my ship. Or it's far enough back that when it does turn around, there's space, so it's not destroying anything. It does mean that if I ever get into a serious battle, very bad things are going to happen. So I may need to make sure that there's plenty of redundancy, or just absolutely make sure that this ship never goes into battle. Because taking off one of those rotors will not be hard, and then I will plummet to the ground. But that's okay. We're going to do something amazing, and it's worth it. And I can't carry everything in one inventory, so... Haha, there we go. Perfect.
Inventory full.
I like the look of having it kind of come in from two different angles, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work in practice. I think I'm going to have to actually use like a solid block and then just kind of make it look a little bit more roundish. Not round, but you know what I mean. I'm going to make it kind of give it a little bit of a angled shape like that. Maybe I'll do the angle on the bottom just a little more. That way we'll have kind of an interesting shape going on. I like that. And let's stick a large engine on here. Let's go get piles and piles of components now. You know, I just realized I haven't checked to make sure that the vector script actually works in this version of Space Engineers. I should probably do that, huh? Otherwise, this is all kind of a waste of time. And I need to do the other side. That's going to take some time. So, tell you what. Let's just go ahead and fade to black. And fade back in to see 2 large thrusters on rotors. Neat, huh? I love editing. Anyway, we've got a little bit more to do. The first thing we need is an actual programmable block. Oh, I also put in a couple of speed modules on the sides of these assemblers up here. Just, you know, to make things faster and better and those kinds of things. Though I am actually just now looking at where these cargo containers are, thinking those would be better places to put the assemblers, because then I could put on 3 speed modules on each. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, I want to do the small head rotor trick, because full-size programmable and timer blocks are stupidly large. So I'm thinking right there would be a good spot. So let's start by putting in a few timer modules. Not sure how many I'm going to need, but I'll just kind of slap them in there. Can always add more later. And then let's put in a programmable block. Thinking we'll put one right there. I think we only need one at this exact moment. So this programmable block is going to be PB vector thrust 2, and we're going to hit edit, browse scripts. Oh, this is all different. It's been a while since I put in a new thing. Okay. Copy to editor. Okay. Let's have thrusters be on when I start the script. And okay. And it is going. So now, theoretically, we should be able to come over here. Oh, close that. Oh, gosh. So now this is an issue that we need to worry about. I think right now it's actually trying to center us is what's going on. So I'm going to unlock. And I'm going to lock again because, oh, good grief, that may not have been what I wanted. Oh, also, hang on. I almost forgot. We need to make sure that we need to run a couple of commands, and I always forget about this part. So, vector thrust 2, run, and we need percent standby, and I think run percent jetpack. Should work. So if I hit 7, that shuts the whole script down. So the script's not doing anything. We don't want that on. Jetpack. See, and I think that was actually on by default as well. Just for fun, I'm going to turn the landing gear off just for a second and see what happens. Yeah. Not what I wanted. Okay, so we are running across a little issue where basically what happens is the script doesn't really know how to deal with thrusters being off of center of mass. So what we need to do is move these guys back and have them mounted like, well, at the center of mass. And I'm thinking we need to actually know where the center of mass is right now. So let's do that. Now there's a little known feature. If we go into info and we hit show center of mass for this grid, I believe we can then back up and see that the center of mass is where? Ah, okay. Is right there. I don't need my lights on. So it's kind of right on this square here. So let's go ahead and remove that. And we're going to move these thrusters back. So now a lot of back and forth. So the vector thrust script automatically detects engines, and it looks like it may have detected this one. May have? Let's go take a look. It looks so weird right now. Okay, so that's shut down, and that's not going to help us. This is Jetpack Mode. And what's really interesting is that's pointing backward. And it's off. Wait a minute, what? Is it this one that's on? There we go. It was off. So, see how this one's not rocking all over the place and this one is? That's because it's actually on center of mass. We're in a much better position right now. So that should work. It's enough to get me off the ground. And that's good. Okay. So let's get that other one in place. Okay. So now we have both of them on center of mass. So if we turn this script back on again and we make sure that the thrusters are all on. Did I break the script? I may have broken the script. Hang on. Yeah, I broke the script by removing and putting on too many things. So we should be able to reset this. Just hit recompile and there we go. Everything's better again. There, that's looking a little healthier. Both thrusters are trying to take us off. So now, there we go. And the cool thing is as we tilt the ship, those thrusters will actually tilt in order to like keep us going. And if we tell it to go backward, it's going to actually move the thrusters. Oh gosh, we need more power. We're at maxed out on power. But if I tell it to go forward or backward, it's going to actually tilt the thrusters to handle that. Now, unfortunately, that doesn't help with left and right, though. So we're kind of tilted to the left, and we're slowly sliding to the left. This is not something we want to do. So I'm thinking what we want to do is we want to have... I'm not going to put it on two rotors. I mean, it would look better on two rotors. You know, one on top, one on bottom. I think that would look pretty cool, but I don't think that's a good idea. I think it's going to end up causing problems with the script. So if the thruster is here, then the back of the thruster, we need to actually go further out because I want to make sure that this thing is not damaging the back of my ship. So if I go out to there, I'm definitely not going to be damaging this ship, I think. Who knows? And then we're going to put the rotor on like that. So let's go ahead and place this here. That's going to look really weird, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So I know this looks really wonky right now, but we're going to make it a little bit better. We're going to try anyway. Uh-oh. I'm out of ice. I need to get more ice. We should, theoretically, be able to fly this thing. See, notice how that thing turned all the way around when I wanted to go backward. Okay, I'm going to weld this thing up. I'm going to grab a little bit more ice. Actually, let's just go ahead and fly over to the ice. I also need more thrust, or more power. So let's start with that. This thing's really goofy looking. I love goofy looking ships. I don't know why. That should be enough just to fill up a few bottles, right? Yeah. There we go. I think I'm not entirely happy with how small of a connection that is. But then again, this whole tail section is kind of unnecessary. It's mostly just there to look good. You know, it gives some protection to the motor as well, so I'm not smacking it on the ground. But yeah, that kind of does have a awful look. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I mean, technically I could entirely enclose that thing, but I don't know that I want to. But I do need to do something about this right here. Maybe I'll go with this kind of thing. Okay, let's get another reactor, at least one. I might eventually have to upgrade to just a large reactor, but for now I think we can get away with just having another small one. Maybe even two more small ones on top of these. And it wouldn't hurt to have a battery too. Actually, I probably should have put 2 batteries there instead of 2 reactors, now that I think about it. Let's put in batteries as well. Apparently we need more power cells. Okay, I can make more power cells, right? What all else can I take apart that I don't need? Like, that's a ridiculous amount of reactor components. Okay, so I'm having one assembler disassemble medical components while I have the other one make power cells. I think we're having a little issue. So we need to start working on maybe going and finding things to grind down. Because we need more parts. But I'm also noticing I've got a lot of scrap that needs to be processed, so I want to put in a basic refinery, which used to be called the arc furnace. And let's see, the basic refinery only has connections on the sides. So I think if we put it right here, that should work fine. So that should pretty quickly start taking all the scrap, there we go, and turning it into iron. Not that iron's really an issue, but just bugs me seeing scrap around. And if we do happen to find some nickel or something, then that would be handy. Okay. Let's get on the move. Let's see how well this guy flies and how long it takes for me to ruin it. I could really speed that landing gear up a lot. I think we should head back to that, what was it? Spinning a little bit there? You're fine. Oh, good grief. What are you doing? I was going to say we're not accelerating much, but no, we are actually. We're doing 100 meters a second right now. So I'm thinking we should head back to that crashed ship and start taking that thing apart. Basically, any crash sites that I've seen, I'm going to try to take apart everything I can. So there's also a cruise mode. I think I might want to do that. So if I turn on cruise mode, then it'll basically maintain the current forward progress. So I think I'm going to stop for a second and set that up. Let's put that here. Run. And it's % cruise. Confirm. So now if I hit 5 and I go forward, it does take a little bit to accelerate. It's not too bad considering the size of this ship. But in theory, if I let go, yeah, it'll just maintain its forward velocity. And I don't have to I don't have to constantly hold down the W key. Whoops. Okay. Bumped into the mountain a little bit. See, that's why I put that there. Ooh. This thing is big. Oh, and the terrain hasn't loaded yet. That doesn't help. What is going on? Oh, that's right. They changed some of the trees, so I think they reloaded all the trees in the new version. So we've got, like, trees floating around. That's kind of hilarious. Alright, let's get these grinders turned on, and I want this thing. Nobody's using it. It belongs to me now. Well, I would call that a resounding success, wouldn't you? I want to see what I have left. Oh, I missed a little bit back here. It's pretty much all just metal grid and steel. We seem to be doing okay with thrusters. I wouldn't mind having a few more big, and these are kind of useless. I'm thinking if I remove these guys, we don't really need these. But one of the cool things about the vector thrust script is that it doesn't mind if you just kind of slap another, not a large, I'm going to put a couple of small thrusters on here. Put one here, and one here. And what is the deal with the server right now? Getting all kinds of desync. Yeah. I've got this script turned off right now, so it's not doing anything with those rotors. Nice. So that's going to be a little extra thrust in really every direction. You know what? Before we finish up the episode, I want to get that landing gear automated. Timer block 1, no delay. We're going to set up actions, rotor LG, for rotor lock off. Really? You can't do... You have to toggle... Okay, fine. Rotor lock on off, and then that will trigger timer block 2 to start. No, wait, sorry. I need rotor LG to reverse, and then timer block 2 to start. Timer block 2, and I'm going to rename these to TB LG1 and TB LG2. This one's, yeah, 10 seconds is fine for now. Actually, I'm going to make it like 3 seconds because I'm going to make that a lot faster. And set up actions. We need rotor LG to rotor lock on off. That should be all we need, right? I think so. And then, instead of having these guys, let's remove. I want timer block LG1 trigger now. And the one other thing I want to do is set this rotor to be a lot faster. So we're going to have this set for negative... Ooh, I'm just asking for problems if I go that far. Let's go -6. That's going to double the current speed. So we're going to unlock, lift off, and hit 2. Boom. And that should theoretically now be locked. It is locked. And so now if we hit 2, It unlocks, it moves, and then it locks. Hit it again. Beautiful. That is exactly what I wanted. Now, let's head off to our next location while we say goodbye, because we are kind of getting toward the end of this episode. I think we're actually at the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun for me. I like our new design here. It's a lot easier to fly, and I think it's got a lot of potential. We're still going to be adding a lot to it. I can tell that I'm going to need... I need to finish up those batteries for one thing, but I also am going to need probably to put in a large cargo container instead of a bunch of small ones. I'm not sure even where I would put it. Maybe on the top or something. And I'd love to hear suggestions about what else we should do. Oh, and I see another large thruster down there that I can get parts out of. Excellent. Please do remember to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the thumbs up button, that kind of thing. It really makes a huge difference for the channel. I'm not doing this kind of thing on every video anymore, but I'm going to have to do it every once in a while because, well, if we want the channel to succeed, I need your help. I also have some merch down below the video there that you can buy if you really want a Epic Tech t-shirt or something like that. And I also have my Patreon page, and I'd love it if you'd go check it out and decide if you want to help me out. That'd be really cool. It's fine if you don't. Just, if you want to. I'll see you next time on Epic Tech.